CQDX, CQDX. This is Havana calling. CQDX, CQDX, CQDX. This is Radio Havana calling all shortwave listeners and radio amateurs. Welcome to... DXers Unlimited, Radio Havana's weekly feature dedicated to the fascinating world of radio communications.
Hola amigos radioaficionados, now listening to the weekend edition of DXers Unlimited. I'm your host Arnaldo Arnicolo, Radio Amateur CO2KK, that's my handle all time. I'm wishing you all good reception of the weekend edition of this Radio Hobby Show. And QSL on the air to the many listeners that have sent signal reports and comments to info@enet.cu. Some of the reports have also included MP3 audio files attached to email messages. Those audio files allow our engineers to appreciate exactly how the station is heard by listeners using our shortwave broadcast. No doubt that an MP3 audio file is the most objective form of reporting the quality of reception, amigos. QSL on the air to listener Claudio Galaz, who sent a very interesting report from his location in Chile. Claudio tuned to the 60 meters tropical band frequency of 5,040 kilohertz, and he tells us that the signal, although weak, was easy to listen to because the 5,040 kilohertz is on this very clear channel on the 60 meters tropical band. By the way, I'm going to ask Claudio to also monitor Radio Rebelde on 5,025 kilohertz and compare the two signals that originate with the same power of 50 kilowatts, same dipole antennas from the Bauta Radio Cuba transmitting station west of Havana. Claudio also compared the reception of the RHC frequencies beamed to South America on 11,700 kilohertz to the Atlantic coast at 250 kilowatts and 11,840 kilohertz beamed to the Pacific coast, also using 250 kilowatts, and identical HR4-4-1.0 high curtain array antennas, the high gain antennas, sent from the San Felipe transmitting station located in Mayabeque province, south of the city of Havana. Item 1. Solar activity update here at the weekend edition. Yes, more bad news because more than 60% of the days of this year, 2018, went by without a single sunspot in sight on the side of the sun we see from the Earth. From January 1st of this year and up to December the 14th, sunspots have been missing for 206 days. And this is for sure a fact that continues to sustain the point of view shared by many heliophysicists that solar cycle 24 minimum is now reaching the lowest expected number of sunspots. A monthly update reminder came from Belgium, where the Royal Observatory confirms the provisional international monthly mean sunspot number for November 2018 of 5.9. Again, 5.9, the provisional international monthly mean sunspot number for the past month of November. This very accurate data about solar activity confirms that cycle 24 is very near its minimum, and I may add that more small reverse polarity sunspots are expected from now on. They should appear at higher latitudes of the northern hemisphere of the sun and show a reverse magnetic polarity that identify them from the solar cycle 24 sunspots that are located now near the solar equator. Cuban radio amateurs are now enjoying the use of 3 antennas designed and manufactured here in Cuba and sold at a not-for-profit price by the Cuban Federation of Radio Amateurs to its members. The most popular model is the 0 dB gain omnidirectional J-pole antenna that has proven to provide excellent service as well as supporting hurricane force winds last year. Remember Hurricane Irma last year. The other 2 Cuban designed and built antennas are a 3-element 6 dB gain Yagi, and the other one a 6-element Yagi optimized for maximum signal gain for about 9 dB. This favorite antenna among FM 2-meter band DXers here in Cuba, the 6 meters Yagi from Santa Clara factory. Yes, amigos, 2-meter band FM mode DXing is becoming popular in some parts of the world where the availability of multi-mode transceivers is simply zero. They are not available. But FM mobile units and handy-talkies are plentiful, something that makes possible to install better antennas and attempt to try to work faraway stations that are not normally available using low-gain omnidirectional antennas. Here in Cuba, the 2 meters band is the most used one of them all due to the availability of transceivers used by professional users that provide them to ham radio service within the frequency range between 140 and 160 megahertz that can be rather easily reprogrammed using a computer to radio interface and the proper software to program them for the 2 meters amateur band. The Domino is a good candidate for the software conversion, making it possible to operate contains 3 elements. The operating range extends to a vast typical area that is normally used for effective communications with the FM normal voice mode here in Cuba. The main use of the 2-meter band here in Cuba is for holding local and semi-local contacts, with many radio clubs holding weekly roundtables on previously announced frequencies and times. Sometimes, something has proven to be very useful to keep club members informed about the relevant activities, and also to provide excellent practice for emergency communications and CW Morse code training. From Havana, Cuba, this is the weekend edition of DXers Unlimited, and here's our next Radio Havana item. Request about the circuit diagram and building instructions of the ever-popular Icom Regenerodyne receiver radio. The design keeps coming. Then, from my Regenerodyne receiver. One is built using vacuum tubes, and the other one is a hybrid circuit that uses vacuum tubes and solid-state devices together. The current circuit diagrams also include a design that uses a quartz crystal to feed the mixer with a high-stability injection frequency, while another version uses a fractal type of self-excited or local oscillator that is very stable. Send your request for any of the circuit diagrams in our collection to info.rhc@enet.cu. Again, send your request for any of the circuit diagrams in our collection to info.rhc@enet.cu. Also receive requests and questions related to my Super Islander Mark 6 direct conversion shortwave receiver. And as soon as they are received, it takes just a few seconds to send the electronic reply via the internet email. By the way, listeners that have built the different versions of my Regenerodyne radio have used them to form part of a more complex amateur band transceiver. Then they tell me that the project was an easy-going task that could be built using standard available electronic components for rare parts. Stay tuned here for more Radio Havana-related information, up-to-date information coming from Radio Havana Cuba, DXers Unlimited. I'll be back in just a few seconds after a short break for a station like this. Yes, I'm your friend Icom IC-R8600, wishing you season's greetings from Havana, Cuba. This is Radio Havana, Cuba. The name of the program is DXers Unlimited, and it's on the air twice every week. In the enjoyment of this wonderful hobby you and I enjoy so much, radio. Now more tips about operating simple homebrew receivers, like my Regenerodyne and the Super Islander Mark 6. Yes, amigos, let me add this important advice. I do insist about the fact that using a battery power supply is essential for optimal performance of any solid-state receiver. You don't come with a very specially regulated power supply from the power line. And now here is Ask Arnie, the most popular section of this program, with this reply from Hamburg, Germany, who listens to the show via the streaming audio available from www.radiohc.cu. He wants to know more about how to test the sample parts that he has collected from several sources for the past several years. Answer. Amigo Hugo, for testing resistors you only need a good quality digital multimeter. For testing capacitors you will need not one but several different test instruments. Testing electrolytic capacitors, for example, requires the use of special instruments that measures the capacitor's equivalent series resistance. So by using a table of normal values of the electrolytic capacitors of different capacity and voltage ratings, you can discard the bad ones easily before soldering them into a project, and there will be a big headache. For measuring inductances now, it is possible to buy a new type of digital instrument that provides very accurate measurements of inductances and capacitance of a very wide range of values. The middle of the week edition of DXers Unlimited, that's going to be Tuesday and Wednesday of the 3 days, just after the half-hour news bulletin here at Radio Havana Cuba, your favorite shortwave station. Send your single report, USL request, and your Radio Havana-related questions that we will receive immediate reply to info.rhc@enet.cu or via email to Anicoro, Radio Havana Cuba, Havana, Cuba.
And that's all for today. This is Arnie Coro, Radio Amateur CO2KK, your host here at Radio Havana's DXers Unlimited, saying 73, and very good DX.
DXers Unlimited heard every week at the same time and frequency, say twice a week on Tuesdays and Wednesdays UTC days. You can hear the midweek edition of DXers Unlimited with Arnie Corbett.